It is 101.9 The Mix. It's McCabe and Jenny from the Afternoon Mix, and today very excited to have singer, songwriter, all the way from Montreal, Chiiild, in studio today. Thank you for being here. There we go.
Thank you for having me.
How are you? How's the tour been so far up until this point?
It's been great, honestly, just getting to connect with all the people and share some of the new music. It's just, it's electric.
I kind of want to go back to just Chiiild isn't just one person.
Yeah.
It's you and Pierre.
Yes, exactly.
So how did you guys form, and when did that happen?
So basically, both of us were writing music for other artists and just trying to express ourselves through other artists. And one day we were just like, you know what? There was just too many filters and too many barriers between your idea and it being released into the world. No one makes music for it to sit on a hard drive. And then I was encouraged to find my voice and just kind of get myself together. And then now we're here.
So time-wise, when did that journey all start?
I would say the idea was probably in about 2018, probably, and then at the end of 2019, we released the first song. Yeah, and then went right into the pandemic, which was crazy.
Oh my gosh!
I was going to say, working on an album through a pandemic, how much influence did that have? Did it change how you guys first started?
I would say, you're a byproduct of your environment. So how you feel, what you're writing is just, you're a sponge. So Hope for Sale being written in the middle of a pandemic, like in your room, essentially. That's what it sounds like. You're trying to be the light. You're trying to be still. You're just writing about what's on your mind. Where with Better Luck in the Next Life, we're coming out of it. We've now toured. It's just, it's more of like, hey, let's explain how we got here. Let's explain, what we want to put out in the world and all these ideas and all these, all the little spatial stuff and all that stuff. Yeah.
What's that transition been like to come from the production end to now finding your voice and being the vocals?
I would say it's probably similar to what it's been like. Now we're on camera in a radio station and, you have to deal with so many of your personal insecurities. And because you're being put out there everywhere you go. It's like, you got to take a photo here. You got to do this, that. It's like I've always been very in my room pressing buttons. That's always been the vibe that I've been on. And so it's been a personal journey, but also now I feel like a superhero in some ways.
Well, you are a superhero with your music. And, at what point did you go from Montreal to Los Angeles? And being in Los Angeles, it is a different vibe. There might be different influences. How did you kind of like stay centered and focus on the music?
It's always been the thing that's been the most centered with everything. So, it's friends, family. I have a wonderful dog. I've got a decent life. It's like I wake up in the morning, I go get my coffee, I go to the dog park, and then just create. So it's really been. It's just about having like a peaceful, chill life. That's how you stay centered, in my opinion.
Who have been some of your biggest influences in music?
Bon Iver, for sure. Friendly Fires. I just went over this recently. I was thinking about how can I narrow down all, because you're affected by everything.
Right.
It's like I can list off like 500 artists that have been influential. But Bjork, Mario, some of these are going to sound like polar opposites. Bob Marley and his power to unite. When you think of Michael Jackson, you think of Michael Jackson or Prince. And so in some ways, it's like you're put up against, you're with one or the other. Whereas like with Bob Marley, it's just that's everyone. And yet you're in this open and fun music, and you just feel really good. And he's talking about politics, and he's talking about all these like journalistic topics. And so I don't know, there's something about Bob that I want to continue where he left off.
So many different influences. Did I read that also Linkin Park?
Yeah.
Was that also 100%. An influence?
Yeah.
Going back, like, do you have, Hybrid Theory? Yeah. That was like one of my favorite albums of all time. Mm-hmm. How did they kind of, influence in a way?
So I was skating at the time. And so they were just part of skate culture when I was in high school. And it was just, I don't know, there was something about the mixing of the scratching and some of those hip hop elements.
Yeah.
They had really good pop songs, and I love good pop songs, and it was just really exciting. It was really fresh, really unique. And then when they got to Collision Course, I was just like, okay, so this was really made for me, full on. So yeah, that's why.
And I love your style of music, which is also the same name as your EP, Synthetic Soul. Can you tell us what Synthetic Soul means to you?
Okay, so it means that you're doing something from your soul, your story, you're telling your story, but you're also using technology. You know, it started with a song called "Count Me Out," where that was a way to bring back Sam Cooke and some of the music that he essentially left off, and trying to bring that in with like some of that Daft Punk energy and some of the new technology. You know, whenever there's like a new piece of equipment, you know, we really obsess. Oh, we're just like, oh, let's get that real quick and try to use it and see like where it takes you. So Synthetic Soul is just, you know, focusing on something traditional, but also pushing it forward.
And this is a collaborative effort. So, I mean, working on these projects with Pierre, who's in the background here,
Yeah.
you know, bringing him to the table, you know, what do you love about Pierre?
We're just polar opposites. You know, he's an incredible editor. He's able to take everything, like, you know, you just kind of spill all the ideas out on the table, and then he's able to just kind of refine it and kind of paint more of a straight line with all of that. And that worked really, really well. And yeah, and then we also share in a lot of personal interests. So in some ways we're polar opposites, but we also love great things.
McCabe and I are also polar opposites. You work
Exactly,
well with
yeah,
people
yeah,
who
yeah.
are way different from you.
Yeah, I mean, we need that in our lives. You know,
Yeah.
we need people that are expanders. You know, you need people in your lives that are willing to push the right buttons.
And then how did your latest single come to be, Bon Voyage?
Bon Voyage was, you know, I hadn't shared any of the music yet for this project, and there was a meeting, I think 3 or 4 days later, where we were going to kind of unveil what we've been working on. And all the music was really like, it was songs like Surfing the Silver Lining, songs like Hiding in Plain Sight, the songs that kind of take a bit longer to carve a straight line with. And then we were like, whoa, but how do we start the whole journey off? And Bon Voyage just, you know, manifested itself in that moment 3 days before that first meeting. And yeah, so did Antidote, and so did Into the Deep End, funny enough. Those 3 songs were like the last 3 days before that first unveiling. So yeah.
Well, it's one of those albums. It's almost like that vibe check where literally you can put it on if you're having people over and just leave it on the entire time. So, I mean, moving forward, are fans reacting to it on tour? You guys got a big show tonight here in Chicago.
Absolutely.
How have they been taken to it?
They've been really loving it. You know, we make new edits for all the music live, and so there might be, you know, in Bon Voyage, there's that line that goes do 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 do, and so essentially you take something that's like kind of buried in the back, and you just live in it and build around it and reharmonize it and use some of that musicality. So people get to discover little pieces that might have been tucked away in the back, and we get to dance, and it's, you know, it's loud, it's a vibe. It's like, you know, we're just having such a great time. So people have been amazing, for real.
And have you been to Chicago before?
Yes, we've been to Chicago before.
Okay.
Sure.
What were you like most excited to come back to or explore?
We've just always been so well received in Chicago. I think it's clearly, you know, the people are really open to what we have to offer here. It's also just a beautiful city. The architecture, you know, it's, I'm a sucker for design, and the way that this city has been put together is incredible.
As you've been touring around, I mean, as a skater, do you still bring your skateboard, and do you take advantage of any spots? No?
Nah. That chapter is kind of past me. I might find it in the future, but I think I'm, yeah.
Was like X Games ever on the table? Were you ever like?
No, I wasn't
good
that
enough?
good.
Hey, you never know.
I was good enough at the time to enjoy the skate park.
Yeah.
But not good enough to compete. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Nice. I'm sure everyone's excited to see you perform at Schuba's. What can people expect from your show?
Well, hopefully they bring their dancing shoes, because we're going to dance a whole lot.
Perfect.
And it's going to be super engaging. It's a lot more energetic than you think. So.
Okay.
And then what can we look forward to? I mean, 2023, the year started. What do you guys want to do this year after the tour and next?
Right after the tour, a little bit of family time, and then back to writing new music. Just I want to just keep the momentum going, and so many ideas come up when you're traveling to all these different places, you know, as a product of your environment. So I'm just excited to put that all down.
Okay.
Well, we're excited to watch your journey. Thank you so much for coming in. And you'll have to come back in the summer when the weather's nice to do the architecture tour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Since you're into architecture.
We can skate around. I'll rollerblade.
Yeah.
Just to be a rollerblader,
Yeah.
and I'll just hold on to your shirt as you skateboard.
Sounds like a perfect plan. I'm here for it.
Well, thank you, Chiild, for stopping by 101.9. We really appreciate it. Once again, Chiild here in the studio.
Thank you so much.